Welcome. I want to welcome you to today's workshop on visioning and goal setting. My name is Barbara Tyler, and I'll be your instructor today. I have had two careers in my life, one in education and one in residential real estate. When I was in education, I had training in goal setting and time management, and I used that when I went into real estate, and it was very much a part of my success. I'm retired now, and one of my personal goals is to be actively involved in my community. And one of the ways I give back is by conducting workshops with various nonprofits in the Bay Area. Today's workshop is being filmed for the nonprofit called WANDA. WANDA is a 3-year program that empowers low-income women, low-income single moms through extensive training and matching funds. I'm really happy to say this is my 11th year with WANDA. With me today are two very special women. They're both WANDA moms. One is Cherise Fonts, and the other second woman is Alexandra Kennedy. They will help me deliver today's workshop. I will explain the key points, and then I'm going to ask them to say, how does this apply in your life? And actually, you're going to find that they're the icing on the cake. Cherise, I have known many years, and you are going to love her. She has a lot of wisdom, enthusiasm, and a lot of energy. And I'm very honored that she was part of the team that produced this video today. Cherise, if you would tell us a little about how long you've been with WANDA, your life before and after WANDA.
Hi, I'm Cherise. I've been with WANDA for 10 years. My life before WANDA, I was a single mother and homeless. I had 2 boys and I was pregnant, moving from the motels, the hotels, and the shelter. And then I found WANDA shortly after we moved into transitional housing. My life now has dramatically changed. I'm no longer homeless. My kids are in a better space. I'm a founder of a few companies, and I've worked at some of the best startups in the Bay Area. My contribution to WANDA is giving back to the mothers within WANDA and also teaching their annual Traditions workshop. I'm super excited to be here with Barbara and Alex. This workshop has changed and transformed my life in many ways, and I know it will do the same for you.
Alexandra Kennedy and I met at WANDA, and you're going to find her to be amazing. I admire her integrity and her drive. An added connection that I have with Alex is that she and I have given some very awesome workshops to the inmates, the women inmates in the local county jail. Later on in this video, we will share a little about that experience together. Alex, please share about your life before and after WANDA.
Hi, I'm Alexandra, and I've been with WANDA for about 3 years now. I became a single mom in 2014 when my son was only 2, and I didn't find WANDA until 2017. In those 3 years, I was working towards my goals, but life was kind of a struggle. I was in school full-time, I was working part-time, and just trying to take care of my son. When I joined the WANDA program, I was immediately connected with lots of other single moms who were doing the same things that I was, just trying to work on their lives, get their stuff together, and make a good future for their kids. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life, but I just didn't know how to get from point A to point B, and WANDA really helped me with that. I knew that going to school and looking for a better job was the right next steps, but WANDA helped me to take it even further. WANDA helped me repair my credit and save for my future and more. When I joined the WANDA program, I was in community college, and now I'm in a master's program at Stanford. This workshop on goals and visions with Barbara Tyler was one of my favorite classes that I ever attended at WANDA, and I'm so glad to be doing this video for you guys today. I hope you enjoy it.
Let's get started with today's workshop. First, we're going to begin by writing our vision statements, our dreams. Now, what is a vision? Well, it's defined as, what do I want my life to look like in 1 to 3 years? And I want you to write things that you're excited about. Visions are creative dreams for your future. Why do we start a goals class by writing our visions? A couple of reasons. First, goals that are set without being aligned with your vision are rarely met, like New Year's resolutions. Research says 90% of the people don't reach them. The second reason that we start with our vision, your long-range vision, it actually changes your behavior now. There was a study that was recently published in the Harvard Medical Review, and this is what they found. People who focus day by day without a long-range vision will experience very little change in their life. Now, I think that's very powerful. Let me say it again. People who focus day by day, there's nothing wrong with that. It's what you do to get your days to happen and empower you. But what's missing, if you don't have a long-range vision, you will experience very little change in your life. To change your life in a positive way, to author an inspiring new vision for yourself, something you really care to reach, you start by writing your vision, and then you can write goals and action statements to get there. Now, let me ask Charisse and Alex to share with you what vision statements mean in their lives.
Visions are important to me because I believe they put everything that you want right in front of your face and allows you to be able to go after them. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And so visions have been a very big piece in my success and how I track my success. And even when I'm feeling down, I can look at my vision and know exactly where I'm going.
Knowing my vision has actually made all the difference in the world. While I'm the kind of person who's constantly trying to improve myself and make positive changes in my life, what that amounts to is that I constantly have this sea of hopes and dreams floating around in my head. This workshop helped me to grab one of those, anchor it down, and focus clearly on it as an individual vision.
Thank you, Charisse and Alex. That was really a perfect example. Visions are most impactful when you use words like, I will, I see myself, or I'll celebrate when. And I'm going to ask you to avoid a few phrases. One of them is, I need to. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't give you any power. Like, I need to improve my credit score. It's a good place to start. But listen to this example. I will celebrate with my children every time my credit score goes up by 5 points. Very different than I need to. Secondly, we often say we're going to try to do something. Well, the thing about trying is this. You can watch. I'm going to try to move. I'm going to try. I'm going to do it. I want to. Gosh, I wonder why I don't. Trying doesn't get you anywhere. It has no power in that verb. The other phrase to avoid is, I should. Because usually when you say I should, what are you really saying? Often you're saying someone else thinks you should. Or I'm really wrong if I don't. An example, I should quit smoking versus I am a non-smoker. So you can hear the difference when you use your vision statements with I will, I see myself, I will celebrate when. Charisse, Alex, and I will read the vision statements from the Wanda Moms. I see myself completing my divorce with harmony and integrity and creating a stable life for myself and my child. The reason I love this vision statement is it addresses something that we all go through, and that's life's challenges. This woman is going through a divorce, but she doesn't quit. She doesn't say, I can't accomplish anything. She takes the high road. She looks at the solution when she wrote her vision statement. Very powerful, proud of her.
I will feel proud when I'm in an exciting new career that uses my talents, earns X amount of money per month, and has an opportunity for advancement. I really relate to this one, mainly because I'll be graduating next year. And while I really hope that I find a job that I love, what I'm really thinking about is I need to make sure I earn enough money to support myself and my son.
I see myself as a saver, and I'm excited to establish positive saving habits for myself and my children. What I love about this vision is that she brings in her kids. We know that we are going at a million miles a minute for our children, and any goal or any vision you can tie your kids into will help motivate you to get there.
I will celebrate with my children when I receive my degree as a home health nurse at Kenyatta College. Perfect. Celebrate with her kids, be proud of what she's done, and that is a very perfect example of a great vision written by a Wanda mom.
I will feel grateful when I contribute to others as a certified drug and alcohol counselor. I love this one because she's looking at the higher purpose of what she'll be doing.
I will rejoice when my children and I move to a safer neighborhood with my sister and her children. What is amazing about this vision is she brings in the elements of celebration, something that Barbara teaches us very often, and she incorporates her community into this vision. So you know the more you have behind you, the more successful you will be at your vision and your goal.
I will feel awesome when I'm a financially stable woman on the path to home ownership. This quote is great because not only does she tie in how she's going to feel when she does this, but she's really clear about what she's up to. You know she's going to get there.
Perfect examples of vision statements. Now I'm going to ask you to write your own vision statements and encourage you to use words like, I will, I see myself, I'll celebrate when. Make it something you're really passionate about, something you can achieve in 1 to 3 years. So please pause the video and write a wonderful vision statement for yourself. Welcome back. I hope you wrote an inspiring vision statement for yourself. Before we wrap up this section on visions, I want you to listen to some really great quotes. Charisse and Alex and I are going to read them to you, and I think they will make the point very well about the importance of writing your vision. Here's a great quotation about visioning, written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "Don't be pushed by your problems, be led by your dreams." And in the Wanda classes that I've led over the years, this is often the Wanda mom's most favorite.
You cannot be what you cannot see, Sheryl Sandberg. When you are going for your vision and goal, you are becoming what you are seeing and where you're trying to go with that. And this quote is so important because you must see it first before you go after it. So seeing that goal, seeing that vision, you will become that. It will manifest for you.
Begin with the end in mind. That's a quote from Stephen Covey.
Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without a vision is just passing time. But vision with action can change the world. A great quote.
The why is more important than the what or the how. When my family and I were in the homeless shelter, I didn't know how we were going to get out of the homeless shelter. I didn't know what we were going to get into next, but I knew why we needed to get out of there. And so the how and the what took care of itself. And this quote is super amazing and powerful because the why is definitely the most important thing about your vision or your goals.
Next, we're going to write goals to help make your vision statements come true. Let me start with this question. What is the difference between a vision statement and a goal? Well, the answer is a date. A date. That's what gives it power. Listen to how this Wanda mom turned her vision into a goal by adding a date. Here's her vision statement. I will rejoice when my children and I move to a safer neighborhood with my sister and her children. Beautiful vision. But it becomes a goal when she adds a date. By December 2021, I will move into a rental home in a safer neighborhood with my sister and her children. The date, December 2021, makes all the difference. It changes it from a dream to something that can become a reality. Well, let's look at the benefits of setting goals. The first benefit of setting goals is focus. When I set my mind to it, that phrase that you've heard, when I set my mind to it, that's focus. It's like a camera getting into focus. But what's interesting is when you focus on something, your brain actually gets put to work for you. There's a very interesting study out of Stanford by neuroscientists that found that our brains process 50 to 70,000 bits of information a day. Now, that's amazing. And I don't know how they counted them, but that's amazing. So how does the brain decide what to focus on? Give it a goal. And then it will go to work for you. Like when you want to buy a new car and you decide you want a Honda, and maybe a blue Honda, and you're driving down the freeway, and what do you see? You see there's a Honda, there's a blue car. That's because you gave your brain that goal. Other than that, it's just traffic, like the 50 to 70,000 thoughts that are in your brain a day. You want to focus your brain? Give it a goal. Second benefit of setting goals, they give you energy and enthusiasm for your life. Henry Cloud, I don't know if you've read any of his books, but he sold millions of copies of books about setting boundaries as well as books about happiness. And Henry Cloud in one of his books says, people who set goals and are engaged in making a better future for themselves and are therefore happier. Again, people who set goals are engaged in building a better future for themselves and are therefore happier. Perfect. Third benefit of setting goals, they give you direction and you become more supportable. So many studies have shown that knowing your direction, knowing your goals is a big key to success. So many books about success will say successful people write goals, they know where they're going. But also another benefit that they don't talk a lot about in the books is this. When you know where you're going, people can support you. For example, the woman who wrote the goal about being a home health nurse. Well, that in itself allows her to have conversations with people. You want to be a home health nurse? I know someone who is, and they'll be able to help you. So it gives you direction and you become more supportable. The fourth benefit of setting goals is it gives you more hope, confidence, and courage. When you start reaching your goals, something very important happens. You will start to get hope for a brighter future. You build confidence because one win leads to another. Also, achieving your goals helps you to have more courage. When you think about it, fear is the biggest barrier to taking on something new. But when you start achieving your goals, you start to build courage that you can take on new challenges. You start trusting yourself. I did it before. I can do it again. You can actually aim higher in your life and take on new dreams. There are various techniques for writing goals. Today, we're going to follow one that has preset dates as guides for you. First, you're going to write your vision because that's why you're doing it. But then you're going to start with dates. And I'm going to ask you to start 1 year out. If this is my vision, 1 year from now, where do I want to be to reach that vision? Then I'm going to ask you to come back and say, in 1 month, this is where I want to be. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to reach my year's goal. So again, I'm going to ask you to go out 1 year and to come back and do month by month plan. Listen to this example of a vision and a goal statement written by one of the Wanda moms. Listen for how she goes out 1 year and then comes back with monthly steps. Her vision: I see myself as an awesome drug and alcohol counselor. Goal: in 1 year, I will have completed the requirements for my certification and have a great job as a drug and alcohol counselor. First month to get there. I will meet with a career counselor at Kenyatta College to know the best path for getting a great job in this field. The second month, I will learn winning techniques for job interviews. Third month, I will conduct informational interviews with 3 drug and alcohol counselors to better understand job duties and responsibilities. Month 6, I will work with my friend Mercedes to set up a marketing plan for my new career. Month 9, I will set up interviews with at least 3 agencies and choose the best job placement for my skills and my family. In 360 days, I'm going to resign from my current job. 361 days, I'm going to take my children on vacation to Disneyland to celebrate. 365 days, I will be working as a drug and alcohol counselor. Now, that brings us full circle back to the benefits of setting goals. See, after listening to her goals, can you hear how setting them gave her focus, a clear direction, and the courage to step out to make her dream a reality? What she didn't say is, well, I wonder how I'll get a new job when I get my license. No, she actually laid out a very powerful month-by-month plan to meet with a career counselor, to learn interview techniques, how to market herself. She empowered herself to win by her goals. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and write your own goals. Start with your vision statement and then go out 1 year and then break it, come back 1 month, break it out by month, and write some powerful goals to reach your vision. Pause the video, please. Welcome back. I am hoping that you wrote some really clear and powerful goals for your year ahead. Let's finish this section about goals by listening to some of the wonderful quotations that summarize the benefits of setting goals.
Here's a quote by Benjamin Franklin. By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. This makes a lot of sense. If you want to get anything accomplished, you have to have a plan.
The average person with average talent, ambition, and education can outstrip the most brilliant genius in our society if that person has clear, focused goals. Brian Tracy said that. Man, that makes me feel good because I consider myself to be average, but I've done extraordinary things. And this goal for me has been that. Like, I had a clear goal. I didn't want to be in the homeless shelter anymore. I wanted to bring my baby to a place that was super warm and welcoming. And I didn't have the best credit score. I didn't have the best income, but I made it happen. And that's because my goal was front and center. And that's how important having a goal can be to you and your family.
This is a quote by Bill Copeland. The trouble with not having a goal is you spend your life running up and down the field, but you never score. Not having a goal can mean that you're putting your energy and your time into just spinning your wheels. Make sure you have a goal so that all your hard work is going towards accomplishing something.
Here's another great quote about goal setting. I love this one. The indispensable first step to getting the things you want out of life: decide what you want. This is by a man named Ben Stein. And I love that he starts with the indispensable first thing to get what you want out of life. Decide what you want. Those are your goals. Then we have a quote from Abe Lincoln. A goal properly set is halfway reached. How cool is that? If you properly set it, you're already halfway there. Well, so far, we've covered the vision, that's your why or your passion. And then we've covered the goals, that's your direction or your big steps to get there. Now we're going to talk about something called milestones. Those are the small steps, and they will become your action plan. Milestones will make all the difference in reaching your goals. Let's look at change for just a moment, because setting goals by definition involves change. It's, I'm here, I want to be there, that's my goal. That involves change. Well, what's one of the best ways to make a positive change in your life? Behavioral scientists say this: if you're taking on something that's scary for you, start with small steps, small milestones. They say, the scientists say, that mastering each small step will actually reshape your brain to make the next step more manageable. So listen to these milestones and see how they make it so much easier to reach your goal. Here's a woman's goal. In 30 days, I will meet with a career counselor at Kenyatta College to learn the best path for getting a great new job in my field. That's a fabulous goal. Listen to her milestones, her small steps. By week 2, I will know the career counselor's schedule, and I'll book a meeting with her. After that meeting, I will take the top ideas and design a job search strategy. Another milestone. I will write my top ideas on my calendar and my to-do list to get started.
Goal. In 60 days, I will learn winning techniques for job interviews. There are 2 milestones for that. First, by insert a specific date, I will watch 3 YouTube videos with tips on successful interview techniques. And 2, by insert a specific date, in the month of June, I will do 4 practice interviews with friends and ask for feedback on how to improve.
In the 4th quarter, I will work with my friend Mercedes to set up a marketing plan for my new job. So the milestones for this one is in a month of May, I will set up my new website. In the month of June, I will research the best ways to use social media to promote my practice, for example, on LinkedIn or Facebook, etc. And the last milestone is in the month of July, I will design my business cards. This is not only exciting, but for me, it speaks to the creativity that needs to go with each milestone. So don't forget to make your milestones as creative as possible.
Yeah. So let's look together at these great quotes about writing milestones.
The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks, and then starting on the first one. Mark Twain said that, and I couldn't agree more. The small steps are always the hardest, but they're the smallest, so we can take them head on to get to where we need to go.
Vincent van Gogh said, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together." I love this quote because what it means for me is that we need to be mindful and purposeful about the steps we take.
The key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but on significance. And even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on a greater meaning. Oprah Winfrey. What I love about this quote is most of the time, especially as single mothers, we are living in survival, just trying to get to success mode. But what we really are ultimately aiming for is that significance in our lives that leave a legacy that's greater than us, that our kids can enjoy and will be generational. So I love how this quote is so true. Don't just focus on success, aim for significance. Remove yourself from survival, and that's what goals and milestones do for you.
Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. And your milestones are the action steps to move you towards your goal.
The world makes way for the woman or man who knows where she is going. Michelangelo. I love this quote because I completely believe in this so much. If you know where you're going, everything else seems to get out of your way. Call it God, manifestation, law of attraction. It just works. So if you know exactly where you're going, what you're trying to do, the world, the universe will make way for that.
It is better to take many small steps in the right direction than to make a great leap forward only to stumble backward. That's a Chinese proverb. I love that because it reminds me that it's really important for us to take small steps that are achievable rather than to try to just accomplish everything at once and potentially fail.
Thank you, Charisse and Alex, for those beautiful quotations about milestones. Here's another one for us to consider. A dream that's written down becomes your vision, and you learned that today. Goals give you direction, one of the benefits. Milestones become your plan, that's the small steps. And a plan backed by action makes your dream come true. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video to write your milestones. A couple of tips before writing your milestones. The first is to allow enough time for each milestone. And secondly, just to know that some goals will have a lot of milestones and some will just have a few. Please pause the video. Well, thank you for watching this video on visioning and goal setting. And I cannot say enough thank you to Charisse and Alex for being with me today. I know, as the viewers of this, that you know how important it has been for them to take the concepts and put them in their lives so they're more real. And truly, the three of us, we've had so much fun doing this together, but also we do it for you. We want to empower you, and we hope this is of benefit to you. As promised, Alex and I are going to share a little bit with you about the volunteering that we've done in the local county jail. Alex, how did you get there? How did you start volunteering? And thank you for asking me to join you. So let's tell that tale.
Yeah, so I've been volunteering in the county jail since 2016 for about 4 years now, and I love it. I love spending time with inmates and talking to them about making healthier choices. I was doing it for about a year, and then I joined Wanda the next year, and I took the Goals and Visions workshop with Barbara Tyler, and I looked at her and I thought, I got to get her to come into the jail with me. And I pursued her for a couple years after that. She was busy and involved in other things, and I kept reaching out to her and saying, I think it's a good idea. You got to come in the jail with me. And eventually timing all worked out, and she was able to come in, and we joined forces and started teaching together.
Well, it's been one of the special times of my life to teach in the local jail with Alex. And we've gone in together, and we share basically a 2-hour time period. She teaches part of it, I teach part of it, and we've incorporated many of the things that we've done in the Wanda program with the women in jail. But I have a cute story to tell you. That the first time that I went in with Alex, they really trust Alex and love Alex. And they looked at me like this. Body language was like, yeah, like, what do you really have to say? Anyway, after the second or third time, they decided we were a great team. It was okay that I joined Alex. And we walked in the door together into the classroom in the jail, and they actually applauded and said, the dynamic duo's back. Well, then we gave our lessons, and one of the women said, when will you be back? And I said, in a month. And she said, oh, darn, I won't be here. Well, when you think about it, that means she wants to stay in jail. But anyway, never mind. Best compliment I've ever received. Well, the irony is, and the beauty is, that about 2 weeks later, I'm volunteering with a county program that provides residential care for women in drug and alcohol programs. It's in Menlo Park, called Hope House. I walk into Hope House, I look at the women in the room, and this woman goes, I know you, you're Barbara from the jail. So it all worked out brilliantly because the lesson I gave to Hope House that day was the goals lesson that you received today. So this woman thought she was going to miss out, and she didn't. So what a privilege. And Alex, I thank you for asking me to go with you into the jail. It has meant a lot. Those are special women, and we were able to reach them. You've been able to reach them. Really a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Before we wrap up today, I thought you would enjoy looking at this picture of Alex that was taken about 3 years ago when she was attending one of the Wanda classes. Her wonderful son is holding up Alex's vision board. Alex, would you share with us your main takeaways for today?
Today is that you get to design your own life step by step. So get started.
This second photo is of Cherise and I, and it was taken about 7 years ago when she was at one of the Wanda classes, and she was explaining her insights to the other Wanda moms in attendance. And this was right before she got married. How great a memory this is for she and I to look at this photo. Cherise, would you share your main takeaways from today's workshop?
My biggest takeaway from today is that my dreams are big, my goals are big, but in order for me to achieve them, I must break them down into smaller pieces. I got to take that elephant and eat it one bite at a time. And sometimes I do get overwhelmed with all of the things that I have going on in life, but if I can just break them down into smaller components, soon enough they build and become bigger components. There's this quote out there that I really like is most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but severely underestimate what they can do in 10 years. And that is very true for me. In 10 years, I went from homeless to my version of happiness. And so I know that breaking down those smaller, breaking into smaller milestones will help you achieve your goals and fulfill your dreams.
Now, I want to close with a quote from a woman that I heard give a TED Talk recently. Her name is Amy Allison, and I think it really sums up today very well. Amy said, life is not only accepting the world that you came into. Now, I think that's powerful in itself, accepting the world you came into. We all have a different history. We have a world we came into. She's saying life is not only about that, but she said life is also creating a new and better world of your own making. That's the power of today's work. You're creating a world of your own making. So that, my friends, involves creating a new exciting vision for your life, like you did, and then setting a plan to make it happen. That's your goals and your milestones. Now, I know that that takes courage, but it's worth it because you're worth it. Bless you. Thank you for today.